the season, and Mike Garafolo has more on these Eagles as they get set for the Jets.
Thank you, Kay. Well, the Eagles preparing for Sunday's game against the Jets, still basking in the glow of last week's victory over the Green Bay Packers, not just because it evened their record at 2-2, but also because of how they played, particularly offensively. They were able to get that running game going, a season-high 176 yards for a rushing attack that was sputtering and inconsistent at times, particularly rookie running back Miles Sanders. He went for 72 yards on 11 carries, including a 30-yard run. This team had confidence in Sanders and said that they would stick by him despite his struggles and his fumbling issues. Well, he finally performed for them. Quarterback Carson Wentz saying that he told Sanders even before week 1, you're here for a reason. You belong here. Well, Sanders finally showed that, so they're hopeful that this means it's the beginning of an extended run of good runs from Sanders and this rushing attack, because so much of what they do, the RPO and the play-action game, predicated on a strong running game, Kay?
Cannot wait for that one. We don't know when Sam Darnold will be back, but we are hoping to see the Jets do something here on the East Coast. The other game on the East Coast, of course, the Giants hosting the Vikings. Let's preview some of these games.
Okay.
Headlines going on around the league with a little would you rather.
Okay.
Game in college. You can get a lot of trouble playing this game.
Sure. So
we're not going to do that here. If you were to ask me where there wouldn't be any sort of drama ever during the season, I would probably point to Minnesota and the Vikings. There never seems to be any up there under Zimmer. Well, there is some turmoil with the Vikings. Adam Thielen was a bit frustrated with the state of the passing game. Kirk Cousins publicly issued an apology on Minnesota local radio. And now Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer weighs in on that Cousins apology. That's where we are.
He was probably just being nice. I mean, seriously, I'm not worried about it. Maybe you should get off the podcast.
Hey.
Oh, he smiled. He gave a little smile at the end.
I think it was an attempt at levity.
There's a lot going on up in Minnesota.
A lot of truth said in jest.
It seems like that. So they'll take on the Giants this week. Both sit at 2-2. New York has won 2 straight since turning things over to Daniel Jones. So which quarterback would you rather have for the rest of the year? Nate, Kirk Cousins, or Daniel Jones?
I'm going with Kirk Cousins. And I'll say this. I did see a little smile at the end of Zimmer saying that, but he was keeping it real. And maybe there's a lot of guys that shouldn't be talking to the radio or going on podcasts and basically airing out all of the family laundry from every organization. Back in my day, we didn't do that. We kept everything in-house. But Daniel Jones is good. He had a couple of good moments over the last couple of weeks. Okay, he just got here. He just got to the party. Kirk Cousins has been playing those dad tunes for the last 4 years. So I'm going with Kirk Cousins. Out of respect for what he has done so far in his career, I won't do that to him.
I'm not going to be flippant and say, well, what's he done? But I'm going to be less flippant and say, we want to talk about situation. Daniel Jones is the toast of his town. The fan base loves him. He's got a coach who's got a new lease on life with this guy under center. He's got Golden Tate coming back, and he's got a team that's won 2 games in a row. Minnesota seems like it's melting under Cousins right now, and Cousins is apologizing publicly. So I would say give me the situation of what Daniel Jones is stepping into this week as opposed to Kirk Cousins, which, I mean, Kirk Cousins has been through ups and downs. This could be the Najir right now. I mean, this kid's as low as it gets.
Peter?
And you know, Saquon's coming back. Look at that. You know, like Saquon's coming back. Maybe not this week, but he's coming back a little earlier than expected. Give me the Daniel Jones, and I'll take all the glass half full over whatever's going on in Minnesota right now, in jest or not in jest. Any coach talking about my podcast, and I'm a $100 million man, I don't want to hear that.
Oh, okay. All right. And by the way, just a flesh wound. Saquon already maybe coming back this week. This is the greatest guy.
He's not human on the other
I
side.
love Saquon.
Well, how are you taking it? The situation, or which quarterback would you want more? Because situationally, he's got the Vikings and he's got the Patriots on Thursday night.
True. My situation is, and I have to put, I've been on Kirk Cousins' podcast. It's really well run, and there was no airing out of any laundry. Nate, we talked about if he's going to have a stick figure family in the back of his minivan. That was all it was. It's a great podcast. I'm going to go with Cousins. If I could trade places with one, first of all, I'll take his game check every day. And he has, look, he's got Thielen and Diggs, and you know, there was this debate yesterday. Do you respect him more or less for apologizing publicly? And I think Peter had the right take. Kirk Cousins can only be himself. You cannot. Kirk Cousins he's been the same guy his whole career, going back to Barrington, Illinois as a high schooler. He's not going to suddenly be some sort of hard ass. Very talented. And guys, by the way, they don't have to play the Bears Bears again until week 17, so that helps too. I'll go Cousins.
Cousins for the win.
Yep.
Were you a little personally offended when you saw that Zimmer?
A little bit. It's a good podcast. I've been on some bad ones.
Perhaps no better matchup this weekend than a pair of the NFL's marquee franchises squaring off in Dallas. The Packers and the Cowboys both sit at 3-1, both coming off losses, though, in week 4. Peter, would you rather roll with the Packers or the Cowboys the rest of the way?
I'll stake my lot on Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to say Packers. I thought they lost that game Thursday night, and you can question the play calling. You can question the defense. You can't question what version of Aaron Rodgers we got. I feel like that was Aaron Rodgers waking up suddenly in week 4. Like, wait a second, what? Oh, I'm Aaron Rodgers. Let me do Aaron Rodgers things. I will always roll with Aaron Rodgers. And ironically, he's had a lot of success over the Cowboys in his career, particularly against Dak Prescott. So give me at 3-1 both teams right here at the quarter mark. Give me the Packers and LaFleur, who's never coached a head coaching big battle in January, over Jason Garrett, who's been in a million. I think Aaron Rodgers is the difference. I'm going to go with Jason.
I think Aaron Rodgers is a much better player, but I think the Cowboys are a better team. And you know why? Aaron Rodgers makes $31 million more than Dak Prescott. Right? $31 million more. It's crazy. I'm going to go quickly. I'm just going to go Cowboys. Plus, Devontae Adams is banged up right now as the Packers' best wide receiver. The Cowboys are healthy. They're loaded. I'll go with these guys.
So the roster you're saying top to bottom is
I think it's better than the Packers right now. I do.
Fair.
Yeah, it's one thing to say that Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott, which we all can agree on. But when you talk about total offense, which the Cowboys are ranked number 3, we talk about running attack, which the Cowboys are ranked number 5. They have a better offense than Aaron Rodgers.
Did you watch the NFL last week? Because I saw an offense that was sputtering and was awful against the Saints. And to the fact that I'm questioning what Kellen Moore's genius actually is, that they couldn't get anything going against a Drew Brees-less Saints.
So the first 3 weeks you're going to high five and compliment Kellen Moore,
Yes.
and then 1 week he takes a drop, and all of a sudden you're off the bandwagon?
I feel like that about the Green Bay Packers defense. It was stout for 3
That's a tough
weeks,
night.
and then all of a sudden Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard run
night.
wild on them. So I'm a
Yes.
little concerned about what they've got going on after 1 week.
Tough night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore and the Cowboys will adjust. I guarantee you that.
What do you think? At GMFB,
Like
with
it.
your answers, please. Sunday in Houston, arguably the 2 best receivers in the game will be sharing the field. Julio Jones and the Falcons taking on DeAndre Hopkins and the Texans. Kyle, both teams, they need a win
they
pretty
do.
badly. Would you rather have Julio or DeAndre?
Well, I watch the NFL every week. And there used to be a Moss versus T.O. debate all the time, and I was always a T.O. guy because of what T.O. did after the catch. The event would start, and I think that's why I go Julio. I think Julio is slightly more talented, and he's much better after the catch. They're both great. I'll go Julio, though.
I'll go DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
I just love the fact that his hand size gives him a chance to catch any ball. That 50-50 contested pass, he's going to go up and get it. I feel like DeAndre Hopkins is a pure catcher. Julio Jones is a pure athlete.
What's Julio's hands like? Rex Grossman?
No. I just think he's a pure catcher. Julio Jones is still one of the greatest.
Haven't you heard his Julio high school story?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I've seen Julio Jones make maybe 3 of the greatest catches I've ever seen in my life. 2 of them in person in a Super